Hey everyone, Dave and Carla Menz here, and we brought a couple tag-alongs with us to our Q&A. I know some of you guys are going to recognize, but Brett especially, he's become a minor celebrity because he was on this podcast called the Laundromat Millionaire Show. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but
I've heard good things.
Brett is kind of a big deal. But anyway, we already got a pretty good number in here, so welcome you guys. But yeah, let me introduce to everybody. I know we're going to give everyone a few minutes to kind of hop in. Feel free to, once again, just welcome. Feel free. We are here to help you. We are not here to sell you anything. We are not here to pitch you on LaundroBOOST services, although that may happen by default. But we are here to just help you grow your business, okay? And as you guys know, if you don't know my story, our story, me and Carla's through Queen City Laundry, we've used many different marketing companies over the years, had very average to below average success with most of them. Met Brett a couple years ago now and said, let's see what you can do, buddy. And turned the keys to Queen City Laundry over to him. And he's an absolute rock star. And next thing you know, we become business partners, launched our own marketing company. Brett is the CEO of LaundroBOOST Marketing. And I'm proud to present our rock star CEO, who I don't think the industry really knows other than maybe the Nashville Workshop. And she is shy, so she's going to pretend.
What did I say? CEO again.
CEO. You've been promoted. What can I say? Sorry, Brett, you're out. There's a hostile takeover happening here.
Sometimes it feels that way.
So I'm guessing some of you have probably talked to Courtney on Zoom or on the phone or at the Nashville Workshop. She was there, man in the booth and everything. But Courtney Farrell is our COO. And she is coming to us from this little tiny place. Where are you at, Courtney? Tell us.
Not that small. It's London in the UK. But I'm from New York, so I don't have a fun accent for you. Sorry. I always feel the need to
preface that.
Yeah.
Courtney is our internal genius. Not that Brett isn't, but she's an AI rock star. So we refer to her as Court GPT internally in our meetings. So anyways, everyone welcome. It looks like our numbers are climbing. Do us a favor, jump in the chat and introduce yourself. Just say, hey, welcome. Let us know where you're coming to us from, because we do have an international following. And actually this panel is international because Brett is in Canada.
I sure am.
Yep. And Courtney.
The Great White North, although it wasn't that white this year. So
no, didn't have a lot of snow this year.
Snowed on all the snowboarding, even though typically that's the good part of the here. And
yeah. Do you guys do snowmobiling up there?
Yeah, some people do.
Okay. Yeah, I grew up in Michigan, so that was like a big thing in Michigan.
Right.
When I was little. In fact, I have fond memory. We'll get into marketing in a second, guys. I'm going down nostalgia lane here, but yeah. Hey Ross, how's it going, man? Welcome. But anyway, so we'll jump into it. But I have very fond memories of actually riding snowmobiles as a little kid in my snowsuit to church, because it was the only way we could get to church services on Sunday morning up in northern Michigan when we visit my grandma.
We ride moose here to church.
Okay, I've watched Alaska TV shows.
Just outside, so.
Dave, I'm just picturing you like in a Christmas Story, the little brother can't get his arms down. He's so bundled up.
That's pretty much how I was. But we used to have a lot of fun. We would pull sleds. We would hook sleds up to tow ropes behind snowmobiles, and the adults would pull us around, and we would slide. They do circles and twists and snakes and stuff, and of course we would just slide behind them and dovetail behind them.
Yeah,
time of your life if you're bundled up right, but if not, you get really cold really quick. So anyway,
all right,
Carla,
that rabbit hole.
Yeah. So anyway, I know
what we do. It's what our team does.
Anyway, we have a lot of fun together because these are great human beings, great people, and they happen to be really smart at marketing too. So we're just here to help you guys today, and we're in the numbers keep climbing. So this is great. If you know anyone in the industry that might get value out of something like this, shoot them a message. We are live on Twitter. We are live on our YouTube channel. We are live on LinkedIn, and we are live on our Facebook group. So welcome everyone, and thank you for jumping in the chat and sharing with us where you're from. Feel free to start dropping questions in there, but I'm going to give Brett a opportunity real quick just to introduce himself. I told you he's our CEO. I'm going to butcher that all day apparently. If you don't know Carla, by the way, I have to address this real quick, and I promise we'll get into it. Today is Carla's birthday, you guys.
Oh, wow.
what better way to spend your birthday?
I don't think there's anything she would have rather done.
Laundromat marketing live Q&A.
She was like, all I want to do is talk about laundromats.
When I told them this is what I was doing for my birthday, they're like, oh man, you're so lucky.
They were like, you get to talk about laundromats all day? Gosh, you're awesome.
You couldn't have shot us a text, Dave, and let us know.
I know.
You have to break it to us.
After like 21,
you're making us
really nothing momentous after that, you know, like.
Well, I did post it on social media, but you and Courtney are probably busy working over there, you know, taking care of our clients. So.
Sorry.
Anyways, so yeah, she's like, sorry, I'm over here working.
But you know, we can talk about this after. But more than half our team has March birthdays. You know.
That is
really?
true.
When's your birthday?
It already happened. It's all right.
It already happened.
Well, happy belated.
Thank
Brett,
you. It's okay.
Brett, you don't have that.
I know.
What in the world, man?
No, I'm gonna add you to my calendar now, Carla.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
Brett, is your birthday in March too?
He's
okay.
January.
Okay, January. Well, I missed that too. We need to share birthdays apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently. So Brett, tell us a little bit about LaundroBOOST and what we've been up to the last year or so. It's been actually hard to believe. It's been almost a year since we launched. How the team's grown and things like that. Just a 60-second synopsis, if you would.
Yeah, no, it's been honestly an amazing year. We had high expectations coming out the gate, but I think that we blew them out of the water in a lot of ways. Our team has been growing. Obviously, our customer base and our client base has been growing, but we've been doing it the right way. We've been adding extra services and extra features to LaundroBOOST throughout the way, making sure that we're obviously taking care of our current clients, but not letting the industry kind of stay stagnant at the same time. You know, we're bringing a lot of cool things like retargeting to the space, new type of websites and website design. Over the course of the years, we've been able to test a lot, so we understand what's working, what's not working. And I think that that's the greatest thing about what we do in the laundromat space is that because we don't work with two clients in the same area, every client can kind of learn from each other, and we can learn at the same time and apply certain things from certain accounts to others. So basically, we're all, you know, as a team, kind of looking for the same success, and through that, we've been able to learn a lot and implement that through all of our clients. So it's been awesome. I couldn't be happier that I landed in the laundromat space because everyone I've met through the journey has just been, a pleasure to be around and really excited for the future and where we're on our way off to. So,
yeah, for sure. So we have, hey guys, feel free to go ahead and start posting your marketing questions or even your laundromat questions in the comments. Marketing questions will take precedent, just so you know. So if we have enough, if you keep us busy, we're probably going to let Brett and Courtney do a lot of the talking on the marketing side of things. But obviously me and Carla can talk from an owner's perspective too. But that's what we're here to help you with today. And if you have other questions and there aren't any marketing questions in the queue, then we will jump into regular old laundromat stuff. And Carla will probably take over there as the resident expert.
Yeah. Well, I do want to highlight something Brett said, because I know that we've had clients that this was important to them, is as far as our client base, we do not take on competing clients in the same market. And for one thing, we don't want to help your competitors. If you're our client, we're very loyal to you. But that does allow us to learn and share information, between the clients and kind of let what we find works for them help other clients as well. And, there's no conflict of interest there. But I know that other clients have asked, will you help my competitors? No, we will not. So if in your market, you want to make sure you get us before your competition does.
Yep, that's exactly right. And Brett, correct me if I'm wrong. That is first come, first serve.
It is first come, first serve. Yeah. So, and just, with that being said as well, obviously every service is different, right? So it helps when you're getting started to be working with a marketing company who technically has the data. So, you may start with a marketing company who doesn't know anything about pickup and delivery, wash and fold, self-service, or anything along those lines. And you're actually gonna have to train them up, and it could cost you some of your budget along the way just for them to learn and understand what they're looking for. Where with us, working with over 100 laundromats across the US and actually going global at this point, we're able to have that head start, have an idea of what keywords, what ad copy, what type of things are working for each of the services, and implement that immediately instead of month 2 or month 3.
Yeah, for sure.
So we have a question here from Mr. Cleaners.
Yep. So we'll jump right in. If there's 4 of us here, if you don't care who answers the question, then feel free to just post. If you want to ask it directly to a certain person, we'll try to direct it in that direction. Brett, I'll let you take this first, and Courtney, feel free to jump in anytime you want. I don't want to put you on the spot too much, but any thoughts on the? I assume you can see that on the screen there. But what has been your most successful marketing technique?
So far at the moment, Google ads are definitely number 1, mostly just because the fact that those people in that moment are searching for your services. So basically, if it's a wash and fold customer, if they're typing in wash and fold laundry, we want to make sure that ad is coming up. Not to say that like social media or any of the other services don't work as well, but it's more or less just the fact that that person is in that moment looking for that service, meaning that they're a very like high value potential client or customer, right? So we want to make sure that you're putting your location in the right place, right in front of them in that moment, over some other type of ads where maybe they're just like display ads that are coming across their feed throughout the day, and they might not necessarily be interested in your services or anything along those times. So those are definitely the most high value potential customers, and that's why we feel like Google ads is kind of like the number 1. There's a number of different things for a number of different services that we also offer to kind of go alongside of that and piggyback off of the Google ads, but that's definitely the number 1 system that we've been.
So one of the things we're hitting really hard right now, and we got this up and working for us here at Queen City Laundry too, is the retargeting. Can you talk about kind of Google ads? And this is either one of you, once again, feel free to jump in, but can you talk about kind of the Google ads and how it's kind of top of the funnel, or what we call cold leads that are coming? I don't know if they described as cold because they're searching. I guess I'll let, would they be warm leads? And then how we kind of retarget them if we don't get the close, so to speak.
Yeah. To get more into technique, I'll actually let Courtney take this one based off the targeting if she wants.
Sure. I would still classify Google ad traffic as cold traffic, but high intent. So that's kind of, because they are obviously some of the hottest leads you can get, but they're not necessarily familiar with you yet. So essentially, when you're running Google ads, your ad only shows up if someone searches a target keyword. And then, we kind of always give the example, maybe they're in their living room on their laptop, and then dog starts barking, baby starts crying, someone rings the doorbell, whatever, they get distracted. They wouldn't see your ad again unless they were to go back to Google and search for another target keyword. So in order to get in front of them again, it's good to run retargeting ads. So the way that works is there's something called it used to be called a Facebook pixel. Now it's called a metadata set. And so it's kind of just a little snippet of code. It's invisible. It goes on your website and helps track the site visitors. So if someone sees your Google ad and then clicks on the link to go to your website, then they're added to that audience on Facebook and Instagram. And then we can show up in front of them again without them having searched that keyword again. I hope that makes sense. So it just allows you to get those additional touch points. And the cost is a lot better than the Google ads, because the Google ad cost per click is a lot more competitive. And so we were seeing, for one client, we were seeing I believe 35 cents on average for cost per click for the retargeting pickup and delivery campaigns, compared to, $4+ cost per click on the Google side. So, yeah.
And I assume, Courtney, and I think some of this I know the answer to, but I don't want to take anything for granted. So on the Google side, it's because you're competing. Like you're running, ads for Queen City Laundry, and somebody else is running ads for my competitor across the street, or my pickup and delivery, or whatever. And so Google obviously wants to make as much money as possible. And so they drive up the rates on those clicks. Is it not competitive, or not as competitive when you're retargeting, or not competitive at all? Because
it's
now
a
they're a
pricing
warm lead
system. Yes. So Google ads are cost per click. So you only pay if someone clicks on your ad, whereas Meta, so Facebook and Instagram, those are cost per impression. So to show up. So it might cost you $5 to show up 1,000 times. That does depend on your audience, how many people's in it, how large of an area you're targeting, how many other people are trying to target that. But in general, Google ads are going to be more expensive, but they are higher intent because those people are looking for that service at that exact moment. So a balance is helpful too.
Yeah.
But really with the Facebook retargeting, since they were people that were looking for that, I mean, they're high value as well. It's better than just like random Facebook, boosts and ads and stuff. The retargeting is much more focused, more bang for your buck.
And that's kind of like the 1-2 punch, right? Like you get the people who are interested enough to search for the service on Google. They visit your website. Now we know that they know you. They've at least enough to click on your website link, visit, learn more from your website. Maybe they didn't convert at that time, right? So how do we get them back into the funnel? Well, we don't want to wait for them to go and click on those high cost per clicks on Google. We'd rather be able to send that traffic from Facebook or Instagram throughout their day because we know it's going to be cheaper and more affordable for you that way as well. Also, there are stats out there showing that it takes about 4 impressions for somebody to convert. So, not everyone's going to make that decision right out the gate. There's a lot of trust that needs to be built with something, especially with pickup and delivery. They're going to give you their address, their credit card number, put all their clothes out on their front doorstep and pray that they come back in one piece.
Pray don't steal them or ruin them.
That alone, takes some trust, takes something to think about, right?
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we're reminding them throughout the day, like, hey, like, we're still here. We still want to service you. Give us a shot.
Yeah.
Something else with the Google ads. I know you mentioned this when you were at our last workshop presenting. What was it? It was like 80% of people when they Google something, click on one of the first 3 names that pop up. Am I butchering that? Can you talk about that?
No, that's accurate. So basically, and I mean, we can kind of even get into more visual representation of it in a bit, but if you're not in that top 3 on Google, you're fighting over less than 20% of the traffic. So Google ads, having quality SEO, optimized Google business profile, these are all things that are going to help you kind of come up in that 3-pack. Without them, you're making it very difficult to generate leads and traffic online.
Yeah.
Isn't that Google My Business Booster? It's a new product we offer. Doesn't that help you get into the top 3? Is that the point of that?
Yeah. And I'll kind of let Courtney touch a little bit on that too.
Sure. So
we do. Yeah. Before you jump in, Courtney, we do have a few other questions over here we'll get to in a minute. Let's go ahead and hit on that. And guys, keep your questions coming. Like I said, we've already got a couple in the queue here. We will make sure we get to those in the next few minutes. But we've got an hour. We might even run a little bit over, but I know we have to go get our kids in an hour here.
I might have to disappear to pick up my
Carla might have to
school.
disappear, but we might stay in a little bit longer if you guys are. If we can help you and you're engaging and asking questions, we want to help. Sorry, go ahead, Courtney.
No,
so
that's
Google
right.
My Business Booster.
So I'm going to share my screen quickly.
Okay.
I just need to pull it up. Here we go. So I have just done a quick search of laundromat near me. Again, I'm in a different country, so laundromats are a bit different here. Not a whole lot, but basically, so Google will show the results based on how these businesses rank on Google Maps. So we've got these 3 up here. This is what's known as the 3-pack. And if I were to search laundromat near me, if I were to go, 5 minutes down the road and Google laundromat near me, I would see different things on the map. I might see 3 different ones up here. So what Google Business Profile Booster does is it helps your business profile rank as high as possible on these, so that you show up in the 3-pack for as wide of a range as possible. And I believe we have
some examples of past current clients actually.
So this is kind of a way to visualize. This is some of our clients based on the different keywords they're targeting for the services they want to promote the most. This is kind of what that heat map of the 3-pack looked like when they started. So if it's green, 1, 2, and 3, this is their ranking. So anywhere it says 1, 2, or 3, if someone in this location searches this keyword, laundry pickup and delivery, they're in that top 3. If someone over here searches it, they're down to number 13. In this, they're not even in the top 20. And at that point, it just says 20 plus because it's pretty irrelevant. When's the last time you looked past 20?
Right.
So after a few months of working with us, we were able to get them in the 3-pack, for a much wider radius, and therefore increasing their visibility a significant amount. And the benefit to this service as well is it doesn't require any ad spend. So that's helpful too. It's pretty cost effective. However, what you can do, because that is more of a local SEO strategy, that can take a bit more time to see that kind of increase in traffic from and see those results. So in the meantime, what you can do is run Google ads at the same time, which would allow you to get this top placement. It would just say sponsored or ad.
I have an example too. I can share my screen.
Yeah, go for it.
Just to give you an idea, I got one pulled up right here, right in my local area. Somebody's running some ads here. 1 second.
So while he's pulling that up, I just want to point out that there's when it comes to Google My Business, I think everybody, for the most part, everybody in the industry kind of understands the organic side of things. I always say the Google My Business Booster is a paid service, but like she said, it's a flat amount per month. There's no ad spend or anything. And so all you're doing is putting your Google business on steroids. So if you have great reviews and things like that, you're already going to rank good organically, and we can take good to great, or any good marketing company can, not just us. But go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see in my area here, I just typed in Laundromat near me. I'm out in Canada. And there are 4 all of a sudden, right? So there's normally 3 ranking organically, but the fact that this laundry room here is running a sponsored ad puts them right at the top over all the other businesses. So yeah, they have great stars, 4.6 stars out of 5. That's awesome. But they have 33 reviews. This one has 4.6 stars, same ranking, with 173 reviews. Technically, this business would be on top of this business without this sponsored ad. So, this is kind of one of those situations where, because of my area, they might not need it as much. In Canada, the laundry industry hasn't quite picked up like it has out in the States. But you see kind of the visual representation of like how that can affect your business. And if you want to get those leads initially without having to wait for like that 4 or 5 month lead time, the best way to do it is by paid ads. Obviously, Google loves money, just like any other business. So if you pay them, they will.
You can be their friend.
Yeah, they'll take care of you at the end of the day, right?
That's right. Yeah, awesome. We'll probably come back to a lot of that. So feel free to ask the questions or even follow-up questions on those. We probably should have hit on this, but Brett, do you just want to give like our website and email address? Caleb's asking about referring people because I think this is who I think it is. I think Caleb works at Sense. So he's a good friend of ours and business partner. But how can people reach us? We didn't really share our website or anything.
Yeah, LaundroBOOSTmarketing.com. And I can give you also, I'll just share my screen real quick again.
We also have links to it on the Laundromat Millionaire page. If you go to services, the top one under that is LaundroBOOST Marketing. So there's a link there too. But yeah, LaundroBOOST Marketing, if you just search for that or just go laundroboostmarketing.com.
So here's our fancy new website. And you can learn basically anything you need to know about our services as well as us on here. So you just come up to the top. Services, these are all the services that we offer: web design, geofencing, Google Business Booster, paid social, and then paid Google ads. If you want to get in touch with us, all you got to do is click Let's Boost Now and get in touch with Eric. He'll take care of you and learn a little bit about your business and find out how we can help you best.
Fantastic. So thanks, Caleb. Trying to find the question here real quick. There was
further up there was about geofencing.
Yep. So let's talk about geofencing. Once again, either one of you can tackle this. So let's talk about geofencing, because that is a fairly new service or technology really in the world. To be honest with you, I don't know how new it is in the world of software and tech and things like that, but in the laundromat world, it's pretty new and it's pretty cool. So can you tell people kind of what it is and then try to answer the question as best we can?
Yeah, in simple form, basically geofencing is anytime you draw like a digital fence around a physical location, we're actually able to track the users' phones who walk in there through RFID. So pretty much for up to 30 days, we can send advertising to them through like Google supported websites. And these are in the form of display ads. So they're like photo ads, where search, you see it's a lot of text ads or Google business profile ads. These are photos. So this is a good opportunity for you to target your competitors' location down the street or apartment complexes or any budget shopping locations within your area. Because once we capture that user's information, we can then send like your market differentiators to that potential customer, right? So let's just say you have a bigger location or more parking or free Wi-Fi or new machines. You can send ads to somebody who used to use your competitor's location, speaking about those things. And just because you should probably have an idea of like what you do better than them. And by communicating that to us, we can focus your ads on that to make sure that we're using it to the best of our ability to take that customer from your competitor and, obviously make it a customer of yours. And then one thing as well on that, we can actually geofence your physical location too. So we can see that when they come in through your door as well. So we can see it as like a store visit. So that's like very powerful when it comes to attribution. There's not a lot of that when it comes to local businesses through, or like local business marketing, I guess you can say, right? Like how can you really measure that store visit? Geofencing allows you to do that, which is cool. Another thing too is, like I mentioned, for up to 30 days, you can be targeting them. So we can send them promotions, anything that you need to get them through that door, right? Like how are you going to take them from being a customer of your competitor and bring them to yourself? Oftentimes an offer helps, right? Like maybe you're going to give them a $5 discount or $10 on their card or anything along those lines, right? So we help you think about ways of incentivizing people to maybe try your location as well.
So this question also said specifically for a pickup and delivery business, which does alter that a little bit. If we can talk a little bit about that. I know that's one issue with the pickup and delivery is they don't come into your location. So it's a little harder to trace, did they go through with ordering that service? And I know that's something we're working on, tracing people as far as through the different apps, the pickup and delivery apps and stuff like that. But I wanted to mention also like the targeting could be different too for pickup and delivery. And you can even target events. I know we've had clients that have been like, oh, there's this huge, soccer tournament near me. Obviously, those are going to be really busy parents who do not have time to do laundry. They are great pickup and delivery customers, So you can look at events as long as you know kind of what your ideal avatar is and where they might be. You can geofence that location, whether it be a specific store they go to, an event they go to, or where they live, a community. You could do like a subdivision maybe of houses that you think would be in that market of where they have more money than time, which is our ideal avatar for pickup and delivery. And you can geofence that location. And then, like you said, especially if you can send them offers, $20 off your first order or 15% off or whatever you want that offer to be. Can you talk a little more about geofencing for pickup and delivery services though?
Yeah, for sure. It is, like you mentioned, a little bit different. Obviously, due to the fact that we can't trace them right back to your location, right? So typically what we do is we add tracking to your website so we can see how many people visit your website from your ads. So it's very similar to any other type of like e-commerce or pickup and delivery ads that we do for you. So with that being said, you want to be, like you mentioned, be focusing on areas where you feel like those high net worth families can be found, like parks, schools, things along those lines are very powerful.
Isn't it you're not allowed to geofence schools? And there's some rule about that? Okay. Does that vary?
Yeah. So it really depends. So you can't geofence like elementary schools, right? But you can focus on like other locations. When it comes to pickup and delivery, the attribution side is different, but everything else kind of works very much the same. We focus on zip codes as well. Those work really well. One thing being is you don't want to pick up all the traffic driving through the zip code, right? You want to find people who live there. So you kind of have to do it by address, right? So we're specifically targeting homes and locations within that zip code and trying to stay away from the streets, because when you actually draw these fences, it's as like close as 5 feet, right? So if you have a location like a Subway next door to your location and you're in like maybe a strip mall, like we can actually just pick up the traffic that's only coming through your front door, right? Not even like your neighbors or anything along those lines too. So it's very touchy. So you don't want to be wasting budget on just people just driving up and down the street and trying to geofence something like an entire city or something along those lines. So you have to be careful. But like I mentioned before, we've been doing this with over 100 laundromats now, so we know what works for what service, including geofencing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fantastic. One other thing I just want to point out real quick, when in the context of retargeting, is geofencing is a form of retargeting, right? Because what we're doing is we're drawing a fence around a particular location. Let's say it's your competitor's laundromat, and then when they walk through that digital fence, we're grabbing what's called their RFID, right? Their location tracker off their phone. Now it does have to be turned on, but we will grab that from them. And then what I always say is we follow them around the internet for 30 days. So we follow that phone around the internet. So you know how sometimes you're sitting in a room with somebody, you're having a conversation about popcorn. Next thing you know, you're getting ads about popcorn. Well, it's kind of the same concept, only it's not visual or it's not audio, right? You walk into a laundromat, and if we're geofencing that location for the next 30 days, you're going to get retargeting ads from us that might appear on Facebook, for example. So it's another form of retargeting. So retargeting, Courtney, do you think it's fair to call that a classification versus,
Sure.
I mean, it's not a product, right?
Yeah, it could be considered either, I think.
Okay.
We can,
gotcha.
Yeah, because they weren't necessarily targeted with ads in the first place. So
right.
Retargeting.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
We can call it that. It's
gotcha.
A very kind of specified audience. And I think kind of going back to what Carla was saying about looking at or thinking about your ideal customer, it's really fun in a way to think about where they would be in your area. So the self-serve customers and the pickup and delivery customers, obviously, as you guys all know, it's, different kind of customers, different types of people and things like that. So for one group, for self-serve, maybe you want to target a dollar store in town. And then for people with disposable income, maybe you want to target a Whole Foods or a med spa or, a nice Pilates gym or something, and things like that. So just to kind of think about where your ideal customers are going to be, and then we can fence those areas. I always think about it and describe it as kind of an invisible fence for a dog. We kind of draw that invisible line around these locations and these stores, and then when someone crosses that line, then they're added to the audience.
So. Then we shock them.
Well,
if they try to leave our store,
we shock them with value.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Leave it to Courtney. She's quick-witted. All right, let's jump on. This is one I think may be different. I don't know that we'll have an exact answer to this, but I think this is more of an organic question. So I'll try to tackle this real quick first, and I might be out of turn here in speaking, so feel free to correct me. But my opinion as a laundromat owner and not a marketing genius, but somebody who's been doing marketing for 15 years as an amateur and has learned a lot over the years, especially about laundromats specifically, is I think it's indisputable that our reach on unpaid social posting is lower than it's ever been. I've read 2%. So if I have, for example, on my Facebook page for Dave Laundromat Millionaire, if I have 6,000 people that follow me on there and I post happy birthday to Carla, which I did earlier today on there, then roughly 2% of those 6,000 people are going to see that. So the reach is not very good. I probably should have used an example of Queen City Laundry, but you get the idea. So the reach is definitely not what it used to be, because I think back to when I first got in the industry in 2010, Facebook was pretty new, and I don't know what the percentages were, but it might have been 100% back then. And so it's, they created these platforms to get us engaged. They give it to they give us the drunk a drink, so to speak. I mean, they give it to us for free. They get us addicted to the platform. And then they pull and all of them are doing it, Google too, and everybody, right? They pull the engagement down and then say, if you want your engagement to go back up, you have to pay.
Yeah.
Is that a fair synopsis? Anybody have anything they want to add to that?
Yeah. And to be fair, back in the earlier days of Facebook, the timeline, it was time-based, like the most recent posts. So in that case, it was just chronological order. Then they introduced more of an algorithm. And based on that, they have different factors that measure whose posts get seen and why. So for pages, it's very much, that's why they encourage you to boost a post in order to be seen more. So it is very much a financial aspect. As for the question of whether it's still worth investing in my opinion, I think your money could be better spent with different options in order to get in front of people. However, it is still worth doing. But I think this is one of the things that could be done very cost effectively. There's so many resources out there. You could use Canva. It's free. You don't need a graphic designer. You can make a quick graphic. You can use ChatGPT.
With the client regarding that, just kind of mentioned like, hey, here's Canva. This is a way that you can still like be active on social media on your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you can set up a content calendar for a month in probably an hour. Maybe if you're going to do 2 posts a week. The reason you want to still be active on these channels is, one, because it does get seen by some people, but also let's say that we're sending traffic to your website, or if we're running a retargeting ad on Facebook. If people click through to see your business's Facebook page, you don't want the last post on there to be 2 years ago. You can always be posting about these promotions and these deals and tips for customers. The reach isn't going to be significant, but it's still worth doing to help build that authority and that trust with your kind of customer base.
So it's something simple that any laundromat owner can do that really costs nothing other than kind of your time and maybe a subscription to Canva or something like that.
You know what? I'd be happy to put together a guide on how to do that in an hour a week.
And Canva's even free. So one thing I would say is like when it comes to your Facebook,
there are free plans for both.
Yeah. So it's just make sure you have at least have a profile picture, a cover photo on your Facebook, and like a few active posts. Have something up. Make sure that your business hours are up to date. Make sure that people can find your website. Make sure that if there's any basic information that a customer might be looking for, FAQs, etc., that those are at least there, so that when people do come across it, especially if you're doing paid advertising for the odd time that's going to get clicked and going to go straight to the Facebook, you want to make sure that you kind of are coming across professional enough to the point where you care. This is not just something you're taking lightly, but at the same time, don't expect game-changing traffic from it.
Sure.
I was going to throw out there too, our community membership. If you go to Laundromat Millionaire, you can buy them too, but they're free in our community membership. We have a bunch of free social media images that you can download that are like specific for laundromats. And we have images for all the different holidays and stuff like that. And then some that are specific for like wash, dry, fold or self-serve.
And they're already made.
Yeah,
so
they're already
generic.
made.
They don't have your logo.
If you're a member, you can download them for free. And I think they're, I don't know, maybe like $2 or something if you're not a member, but in our store.
So you can just download, if you're a member, you can download them for free, post them on social media. You don't even have to get into Canva and create them.
Yeah. Or you can you can download them and upload them into Canva and add your logo to them too.
Right.
Like if you don't want to design, but you want to personalize it a little. Anyway, just throwing that out there.
Yeah. No, great idea. So this is a little bit of old school versus new school. And I have a little bit to say here, but I'll let somebody else jump in if you want to first. In case somebody's not watching this online, I want to make sure remember to read the questions. So the question is, how's the cost and response on mailers? I assume they mean like door hangers and postcards and things like that.
I got one yesterday.
Did you really? Versus, well, you may completely blow my theory then if you read it, because I have a theory.
Well, I only read it because I work with LaundroBOOST.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, fair enough. On mailers versus online, obviously digital marketing, and they're referring to Google Ads, Meta, Facebook ads, things like that. So
comment on the difference. I would just say,
thoughts, but
as a person that gets the mail every day, I immediately sort through and all the mailers.
Don't even make it in the house.
I don't even look at. There's a garbage can in our garage, and literally they go in. Well, the recycling bin, they go in there before I even come in the house. So I personally don't feel like mailers are very effective. We used them early on, but again, we started in 2010, and there wasn't the online presence that we have today. But even then we didn't see a lot from them. Like even mailing them with offers on them. Like we did postcards and stuff like that. We did, I don't know. We do door hangers. I know we did one stuck on
offer for wash and fold.
Wow.
Yeah, like a good coupon. I'm still not going to do it. Still.
Yeah.
So one thing I will say is technically, like any ad that you're seeing online that's like your digital mailer. Let's just pretend it's your digital mailer, right? Mm-hmm. So the one that goes in the mailbox, even if it gets looked at, we'll never know who that person was. We'll never know where they came from. We'll never know how interested they were. Where if people are seeing the digital mailer online, we can see where that person's located. We can see how long they looked at it for. We can see if they clicked something on it. We can then follow that person accordingly forever almost, you know? So the data that you can collect from having your digital mailer is going to basically provide value, like ongoing value for your business, right? And give you more opportunities down the line to sell that customer and turn them into like a reoccurring client or customer of yours, right? So with just a physical mailer, you don't have that opportunity, right? Mm-hmm. Also, having placement on Facebook and Instagram and things along those lines can often be cheaper than even sending out mailers. Like you're going to get way more impressions than sending out a physical mailer. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have coaching clients ask me about this a lot, and I just tell them as a laundromat owner, what Carla said is definitely true. I mean, we used to have, I don't know that we ever had great success with what I call paper media, but
and part of it, you don't know how successful, like you were talking about the data,
way,
like
right.
We see, our customers went up. Did they go up because of the mailer?
Well, the one thing you can do, depending on the product, like for pickup and delivery, I mean, you can put a call to action, a coupon code that's unique to that mailing batch. So like 10,000 half off your first pickups with coupon code Dave or whatever. And then you can you can look back 3 months later and say how many of those coupon codes were used. So that's really the only way to tell engagement. It doesn't really help you with, did they see it? Did they throw it away in the garbage can? Mm-hmm. I mean, you just, it's kind of an all or nothing proposition. And we haven't done anything like that in, 7, 8, 10 years maybe. Mm-hmm. But when we did do it, which I can tell you the engagement was better back then than it is today, it was usually less than 0.5%. So what I always tell people is I would never come and tell you, I can be pretty opinionated, obviously, but I would never tell somebody that like paper marketing doesn't work. I would never say that. But what I would say is for your money and for your effort, because you have to either pay someone or you have to go hump it through subdivisions and apartment complexes and hang 10,000 on a door, or you can do something like every day through the post office or something like that. There are digital ways to send them out, but if you're putting flyers on parked cars at Walmart or something like that, that's a really heavy lift that I don't know if you're accounting for your time. So what I would say is our engagement and our success with that back when it was much more successful than it is today was not great. And when you compare it to the success we get with Google ads, retargeting, geofencing, even the Google My Business Booster, which we do, and things like that it's night and day. Yeah.
And even when you're running campaigns, like let's just say we're running a cold audience campaign on Facebook or something along those lines, like you can hit interests, demographics, all these things, right? So you already have a competitive advantage of understanding that these people could potentially be interested in laundry or laundry services, right? Where if you're just putting a mailer in a mailbox, like you don't know if that person has their own laundry machines. You don't know if they're absolutely, like, there's no chance they're even going to be using a service like yours, So it's kind of like a waste in that sense as well.
Well, that's exactly the case for me. Like I was saying, I got a mailer yesterday. I live in an apartment building where every flat or apartment has a washer dryer and unit. So I'm not really going to use a wash and fold service. I just do my laundry here. And so maybe for pickup and delivery, maybe it might work. But I think the biggest difference is with mailers and things like that, you are paying to put your offer, your business in front of people, right? In front of a lot of people. With digital marketing, you're paying to put it in front of the right people. So you are paying to put your business in front of, with Google Ads, in front of people searching exactly for a laundromat in your area, or, exactly for laundry pickup and delivery service in your area. Then on something like Facebook and Instagram, you can do, like Brett was saying, kind of interests or behavior based. So people who are parents, people who have an interest in saving money, if you want to hit on that pain point, people who like a page about, nurturing mothers or things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of use that to your advantage. So rather than sending a mailer to everyone in a list of zip codes with these kind of ads, you can target people in those zip codes, as well as whether they're searching for exactly what you offer or whether they fit your ideal customer profile or these other things. And so by doing so, I think you get more value out of digital ads than kind of mailers. So that's my opinion. Maybe I'm a little bit biased. But
well, and I always tell people too, like, just think about just us as society. The four of us on here and the 50 or so people in the comments right now. I mean, just think about how you behave as a consumer. Now, that doesn't mean everyone behaves like you do, right? We're all unique, but as a general rule, society, I mean, I'll use Carla, pick on her a little bit. Like, she is always reading a book, right? She always has a book she's reading. She's become my little bookworm. She wasn't that way when I met her, so I'm not sure what happened to her.
I need a break from laundromats.
I think that's maybe what it is. She's like, if I'm reading a book, Dave will stop talking about laundromats. That may be true. But anyway, but it's always on her phone, right? She has, what is the book subscription or whatever?
Kindle Unlimited.
Kindle. Okay. So she's even when she's reading a book, she doesn't buy a paper book. She reads a digital version of a book. And I think a lot of people are that way. I consume podcasts, but I do it on my phone more often than not. I'll turn it on while I'm driving, sit it in the seat next to me, and I just drive along, and I'm in my car a lot. So I always say, like, we as a society, I mean, you can love it or hate it, but you just accept the fact that we always have our noses in our phones, right? It just is what it is. And you can pretend that doesn't exist and not get results for your business, or you can say, we're always staring at our phone. How can I market to people in that way? And it's, especially as tracking improves, and this is really kind of specific to our industry, as it improves, this is going to, these tools that we're referring to are going to get more powerful. And then obviously one of the reasons that we launched LaundroBOOST with Brett and brought Courtney on is so that we can push the envelope. It's one of the things we're doing here. We're not just doing what everyone else is doing. We're trying to push the envelope, and we're encouraging partnerships from outside and saying, man, how much you may think Alliance doesn't care, or Laundrolux or Dexter, whoever, you may think they don't care, but let me tell you something. They do care. They do care how much money we make. And obviously it's, for the most part, a selfish thing. Is the more money we make, the more likely we are to buy new equipment, right? Or buy the upgraded features or whatever. I mean, they're a manufacturing business. And so they are, I can tell you from conversations I have that the big technology players like the Senses and the Curbsides and the Clean Clouds and all them, and the manufacturers and things, even the change companies, I mean, it's in their best interest that we are flourishing and making a lot of money. And so when we embrace them and try to have conversations, you'd be surprised at the engagement that we get back, and we're able to open doors and say, what about blah, blah, blah? What
they
about
want
this?
To help us get results for our clients.
Yes.
Because they want the laundromat owners to be successful, because their success means they're going to, keep their products, keep investing in their products.
Yeah, if the industry doubles in volume and profitability in the next 5 years, that's good for everyone in the industry, right? So that's a part of why we launched LaundroBOOST, is we recognize with our partnership with Brett that we could open doors and have conversations. And then of course he's the whiz kid, so he can get in there and make these things digitally happen and all that stuff.
That's what
you want. So if you're listening and not watching, Brett just waved his pen. So he's got a wand over there. So anyway, that is what it is. But let's jump on. Feel free to keep asking your questions. We've got about 10 or 15 minutes left.
So there's a question out there, Mr. Cleaners. What other content are you using for retargeting besides Facebook and Instagram? I don't know if I'm understanding this the right way, but I kind of have this question. Can you only retarget through Facebook and Instagram? What about like TikTok and Twitter and all those?
YouTube.
Yeah. So we're you can retarget on basically any platform. One thing actually we just discussed with our team is we're starting to put together some like 30-second explainer videos on pickup and delivery. So they're going to be like very high level explainer videos, just kind of showing how that process will go. And every pickup and delivery business is more or less the same. So we're going to have those kind of like generic for all of our clients. So they're going to be able to come in, we'll switch some colors up, we'll add some logos so that all of our active clients are actually going to be able to utilize those explainer videos for their pickup and delivery retargeting ads. And they'll be purposed for Facebook, Instagram, as well as YouTube and other platforms in the future. So that's really cool and something we're excited about. Just another feature that you get to take advantage of, obviously, if you're a LaundroBOOST client, because those can be quite expensive and time consuming to create. And not a lot of laundromat owners have the opportunity to do that just to get the time of the day or have those connections to make those quality videos. So we want to make sure that we have those ready and available for any of our clients. If our client ever wants anything more custom to their business specifically, we can also provide that option for them. Mm-hmm. So that's something we're really excited about, is getting a lot of video moving in the right direction for that instead of just like stationary photos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So guys, we got about 10 minutes left and we probably won't end right on time. So keep the questions coming. We'll try to get to as many of them as we can. I think we've gotten to a lot of them. Brett, could you share your screen and jump onto our website, that Queen City Laundry website that LaundroBOOST just created? And Carla, feel free to throw your 2 cents in here, because once it was developed, me and Carla jumped in and tweaked a bunch of little things, because she's able to do that from her skill set. But let's just talk about what a good website looks like. And all 4 of us, feel free to jump in as we want, but maybe go through the website and the design associated with it and what makes a good website. Talk about landing pages and how that can help us to get better results for your ad spend and Google ads and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the Queen City website that we just created. You can see here on the homepage, it obviously talks about the services and gives the customer opportunities to learn more. Come down here, it talks a little bit about the ozone and sanitize it and things along those lines. Having customer reviews, these are pulled straight from Google. So we have applications that are added to all the websites that we create. They kind of give you like a live view of real Google reviews. About us section, so they can learn a little bit more about the owners and anyone at the facility, staff, etc. And then obviously like a contact section is important so that a customer can get in contact with you at any time. Jumping into kind of the most important things, or go ahead, Carla.
Oh, I was just going to highlight something you'll notice about our site is that we didn't use stock photos. These are photos from our actual laundromats. And I know that's not always possible, but I will say, definitely, if you can get photos in, no matter who you're having design your website, whether it be LaundroBOOST or another company, or if you're doing it yourself, if you can use your own photos, that is so much more important. And I know Dave and Courtney were just working on a shot list of recommended photos and stuff that we recommend to our clients that are good to have on your website. But anyway, go ahead, Brett, the important stuff.
Yeah, no,
that's actually really important.
Very important. It's very important. Yeah. So we have the ability to obviously use stock images in the meantime, between time, but we always recommend that you get good quality photos of your location, because it does help. It gives that personal touch. But probably the most important thing when it comes to your website is making sure that you have service pages for each of your services. And the reason being is there's something called a relevancy score. When you're on Google, if somebody searches pickup and delivery laundry, we want to make sure that an ad is coming up that just talks about specific to pickup and delivery. It can't just talk about your location, all your services, etc., because Google doesn't see that as relevant. Then from that point, they need to click on that link and visit a pickup and delivery website. If you're just sending them to your homepage or something along those lines that talks about everything you do, or maybe it has no information at all, Google will once again not see that as relevant. So therefore, they're going to actually charge you more and show your ads less. Where if you have a pickup and delivery keyword being searched that triggers a pickup and delivery ad that then goes to a pickup and delivery page that speaks about your service, has everything that the customer is looking for regarding pricing, how it works. This is like one of my favorite how it works sections that we built out with Dave. So you can see like right from the start, they understand like number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, like right down to the point where there's a nice photo of the clothes back packet or packaged up right at the doorstep, right? So without even having to pick up the phone, without even having to click into Sense, without having to go anywhere, they can find within a scroll exactly how the service works. You don't want to hide anything. You don't want to add extra steps or time in the way of you converting for any of your customers, because that can honestly end to like a dead lead like very easily, and it's just going to cost you more money to get them back. So that is why it's important to have multiple service pages for your service page or for your website. If you had all this drop off, pickup and delivery, dry clean, all this on the same page, it's going to take too long for the customer to find what they're looking for, and you're going to lose them. Another thing too is obviously having clear call to action. So you can see here, schedule now, right? There's dry cleaning prices, schedule pickup. Everywhere throughout the page, there's opportunities for the customer to visit the Sense page, things along those lines, or whatever POS system you are using. You don't just want to leave it up at the top for them or anything along those lines, right? Also, load time is very important, as well as design. We take a lot of pride in our design work. We're trying to be the #1 laundromat website business, because we're fashion forward. We're making sure that we're doing everything we can to stand out, and our templates definitely show that. One other thing too is, if you do have multiple locations, you can kind of piggyback off of one domain, meaning we can have pages for each specific location. You don't have to have a website for every single location that you own if you have multiple. This just allows yourself to like rank higher through SEO, because you have multiple pages, more information, etc. Plus, if you're running like anything like self-service, we're obviously going to want to run it to your self-service page. But if they're looking for information about a specific location, like times that you're open, when they can drop off, if it's wash and fold, etc., that needs to be ready to go and available. All of our websites are mobile optimized, because lately over 80% of traffic comes from mobile anyways. So that's another thing to keep in mind. But yeah, that's the new Queen City website. This is a very popular template. A lot of our clients are loving it at the moment. So
yeah, awesome. So just go to queencitylaundry.com if you want to poke around at that a little bit more. Feel free to, take a peek at copy we use, and if you can improve your own website, if you're not ready to have us build one for you yet or something like that, just take a look at design elements, things like that. Brett, what would a website like that cost? What would we charge a client to build something like that?
Yeah, from top to bottom, we can build these websites for $1,500, which is under the market when it comes to actual any website. Nowadays, I've actually had people who have joined our team before who are very experienced in digital marketing. They can't believe that we're selling the websites that we do for as cheap as we do, but it makes
that includes content and
everything top to bottom. We'll actually even host your website for free if you are a client of ours too.
So the reason I want to bring that up is investing in a website is one of the most important things you can do for just even a basic self-serve laundromat that you feel like you're nothing special. Just having professional images and things like that. It's really, really powerful stuff, and it's not as expensive as you think. Part of the reason that we're kind of, I don't know if you call us disruptors, but there's some people in the industry, well, maybe not in the industry. There's some companies servicing the industry that'll charge you $5,000 to $10,000 to build a website like that. And there's for sure digital marketing companies that don't really focus on our industry, that if you just go and find them and tell them you want to build a pickup and delivery website similar to that, that's what they're going to charge you. And honestly, it's absolutely insane, in my opinion. We do a really good job. We obviously are a business. We make profit and things like that. And it's just disgusting to me. And so one of the things that we really want to do is try to disrupt that and get people get our industry in a situation where we're more knowledgeable about what a high quality website would cost. So somebody's charging $2,000. That's great. No big deal there. But when they're charging $8,000 to build something like that, it just kind of makes me ill.
I think what we see the most too is the websites come to us. Oh, I just got this website built, and we're like, they don't have their own service pages for each of the service pages. Everything's on the same page, or this is backwards, or we need to change this. So we're just ending up having to redo the whole website anyways, which is kind of frustrating for the client as well as for us, because in a perfect world, they just come to us, we'd be ready to go, we'd have your ads up and running in no time. But the fact that we're having to deal with things that are restricting us from making you successful is what adds lead time, and at the end of the day, it costs you more money. So sometimes it's best to get it done the right way the first time, especially when it's a one-time payment. It's not like this is a recurring thing. Something I always mention as well too is these are $1 million businesses that you're investing in. You have loans, you have all these things, and we completely understand that. But this is your online location. You would sweep the floors at your store. You'd make sure all the machines are running correctly. You'd make sure your staff is, acting appropriate. You need to do the same thing on your online, because this is your online store. So by presenting yourself correctly online for $1,500, it's going to pay back itself 10 times that,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's your digital storefront. People don't walk down the street and decide, walk down Main Street and decide which shop to go in anymore,
Especially pick up and delivery. Like if you're,
oh yeah,
your store, if this is your store, so if you're trying to make somebody, or you're trying to have somebody put their credit card in and put their clothes out on the front doorstep and do all these things, like
they need to trust your website.
They need to trust you.
We say that all the time. We have a workshop for Wash Our Full Pickup and Delivery. We're like, this isn't a laundry business; it's a trust business.
You are in the trust
because they are trusting you with sometimes thousands of dollars worth of clothing and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of times they never see you. They might see your driver, but they never see you. They never see your facility. So you need to make that web presence really good.
So even if you don't have I guess what we're all saying here is even if you don't have a budget, of thousands of dollars per month to run Google ads and things like that, which you don't have to spend that much, by the way, but if you don't have a robust budget, start with organic things. Maybe you can build your own website. You can just, get into the templates and things and poke around and there's videos and teach you kind of how to do it. Of course, your website's not going to look like a professional one and you're not going to have professional copy and things like that.
Our previous one I made, and I'm not an expert. I learned on YouTube.
And it's, and the same thing with Google My Business. If you can't afford the booster service, at least get a good Google My Business profile up, with actual pictures versus stock photos and things like that. We at the workshop, we give away these Yeti tumblers that say one of my favorite phrases in life is just be better tomorrow than you were yesterday. So don't compare yourself to us. Don't compare yourself to someone that's way ahead of us or behind us. Compare yourself to your vision to what you were yesterday or maybe the quarter or the month before. And if you don't have a website, try to build your own website. You can, Carla calls it YouTube University. You'd be surprised what you can do with a little bit of time and patience. And then a year from now, 6 months from now, when your business has grown based on those organic things, then maybe you can invest in a professional website. And I want people to know that they're not terribly expensive and you get a high quality website. Brett and Courtney, does it make any sense to run ads with landing pages that are not properly built?
We actually just won't do it anymore. So we want to make sure that you're set up for success. Like traffic is too expensive nowadays, whether you're good or you're not, to be sending it to a landing page that's not ready to convert. So part of our setup is we want to make sure that you're ready for success for when we do send that traffic. It's extremely important.
Yeah. Courtney, a minute ago, you had a screen share up that I didn't click on. Was there something you wanted to share?
Maybe there was a question there about average cost per click. And so I was just kind of gonna
that'd be awesome.
Do you have some of our client results that you can show but hide their name maybe?
Yeah. So this I just pulled it from another document. This is just kind of looking over kind of across all of our clients over the course of 90 days. These are sort of the average cost per clicks. And like this comment acknowledged, it will vary based on geography and things like that. It varies a lot based on geography, competition, population, keyword search volume, all that sort of stuff. So it does vary a lot, but these are some of the averages we saw over the course of 90 days. It does also fluctuate seasonally. Again, so many factors. But if you're trying to kind of put in your head a budget of what you might like to spend and what that would get you or where your budget would kind of bringing the most value for you and bringing the most return. These are kind of just a few numbers. Again, they fluctuate a lot. So take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Can you read those verbally just for anyone that's listening, but maybe not watching?
Yeah, sure. So again, average data across a lot of different clients in a lot of different areas, etc. Self-serve average cost per click, $1.27. Wash and fold average cost per click of $2.09. Pickup and delivery, average cost per click of $3.81, and commercial, which is the highest because it is the most competitive, then that's looking at as an average cost per click of $4.24.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that.
I know we had a previous question. I don't know if you can give them some cost guidelines because I know they can vary a lot, but what is the cost for geofencing?
Yeah, so at the moment, our cost for geofencing is $500 a month. And there is a setup fee associated with it beginning because there's a lot of ads that need to be created for that.
And we create them. They don't have to create them themselves.
Yeah, we do everything from scratch. But yeah, ongoing $500 a month. And we make sure we do basically everything you need right from the onboarding to the end. The only thing that we ask from you is some addresses in the local area that you feel would work best initially, and then we can kind of take it from there. Like, you have the best understanding of your area, your competitors, what you're looking to, or who you'd be looking to focus on out the gate. And then from that point, we can kind of get a gauge of what's going on and make adjustments and things along the way.
So this is interesting. If everybody's okay, we'll run over a few minutes here. So they say you mentioned Google Business Page, but recently I thought Google turned off their business pages and switched people to a third-party vendor. I mean, I know they're still there. Maybe they're...
Yeah. So what we're talking about is your Google My Business profile. It used to be called Google My Business. They changed the name to Google Business Profile. So that might be where some of that confusion lies. So we're talking about Google My Business, basically. And those are absolutely still up. If you want to test it right now, you can just Google, laundromat near me, hair salon near me, whatever, and you'll see those pop up. So
are they referring to Google Ads? Like, are they outsourcing Google Ads? I can't imagine they are.
No.
I'm not sure what they're referring
Google
to.
Ads used to be called Google AdWords, and Google My Business
is
now called Google
They
Business
do adjust the name.
They changed the
and
name,
maybe
but
that's
I think
what
it's all the
they're...
same thing.
I'm not sure. I mean, technically, I use the term Google My Business because I've been saying it for 15 years, but it's Google Business Profile, but it's the same thing.
I mean, even marketers still call it GMB. It's okay. Everyone's gonna know what you're talking about. So.
Yeah, for sure. So, any cost on? I don't know if you have this data in front of you. I'm putting you on the spot, Courtney, on dry cleaning. Which
I don't have that in front of me. Okay. Yeah, we do those ads. That wasn't part of the data that we had our ads team look into. I don't think.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Well, one other thing before we go today, and a couple minutes left, guys. If you have any last minute questions, drop them in and we'll see if we can get you a quick answer. Everyone first of all, just thank you for being here today. But Courtney and Brett, I think one of the things that's maybe not ever talked about in our industry is how I, as a laundromat owner, when I hire a marketing company, I think there's this misconception that I just pay you X for this and then you do everything and I don't have any responsibility there, or I can't help you to get me better results by engaging in a relationship. What are your thoughts based on that? Because you guys have a lot of experience. Obviously, LaundroBOOST has only been around for a year, but you guys have both been doing this for a decade, probably, maybe more, meaning digital marketing. I mean, you guys are not new to digital marketing in the world. What is something, I mean, we're talking about laundromat owners, dry cleaning, things like that, but what are the things that we see or you have seen in your experience and it could be even outside the industry, that helps us as a marketing company to get our clients better results?
I'll answer for them. One of them.
Okay.
Go for it, Carla.
Get reviews, preferably 4 stars or 5 stars. They're 5.
An average of 4.6 and above.
Well, you want 5, but get reviews. And that's one thing that we really push to people we talk to is get those reviews, because that will help your organic Google ranking without even the Google ads and everything. But y'all can answer now. I just wanted to throw that in.
Go ahead.
It matters a lot. Obviously, we can only do so much. This is your business. All we are doing is putting your business, again, the right message in front of the right people. That's all we can do. Once people go into your laundromat, their experience there, we can't control that. So if you're not doing everything in your power to make sure that they have a positive experience in your facility, they might not come back. And then our ads won't do anything to bring them back if they had a bad experience. So that's, again, we can put the right message in front of the right people and to push them to your location. But once they're in there, there's not a whole lot that digital marketing can do to affect their experience inside the store.
The money is all in the reoccurring business. You'll never have a successful marketing campaign without reoccurring customers. So the way the cost per clicks work, the way that paid advertising work, like, it's going to be expensive at the gate. It's going to cost you money to acquire that customer. The way you make money is by keeping them.
That's
so
right.
How are you to do that, right? So by giving them the best experience, making sure you're on time for the pickup, everything along those lines is what's going to actually help you grow your business. We can get them through the door the first time. You keeping them there is what's going to make your marketing campaign successful at the end of the day. Another thing I would say too is as much information as you can provide out the gate initially for us helps a ton, right? So give us an idea of your competitors. Let us know what's going on in the area. What do you do better than them, and why? So that just kind of helps us craft any copy or anything that we need to do, content for geofencing, to make you stand out. Those are things that could be very helpful.
Carla talked about it earlier, but the photos, right? If you I'll hit on this because this is something we've done. So you can go into your website. You can go into your store with your phone, and you would be shocked at how good of pictures you can take nowadays. Now, if you're Carla, you take a little bit better pictures. If you're me, you take pictures of trash cans. But that's a different conversation for a different day.
Doesn't look at the background.
She's like, "There's a bag in the picture. What are you doing now? I have to go back up there."
Edit it out.
Use the rule of thirds.
Right. So I mean that, but once again, you don't have to hire a professional photographer. What I always say is Dave pictures are better than stock pictures, stock photos, right? Carla pictures are better than Dave pictures, right? But you can also, for a pretty reasonable amount of money, roughly $1,000, have a professional photographer that's local in your market come out to your store for a couple hours, and you put together a little shot list, or as Courtney talked
Courtney and Dave's.
Yep, get Courtney's shot list.
Yeah, Dave, feel free to share the one that we put together.
Awesome. And for $1,000, I mean, you can give us, you can get, a year or two's worth of professional photos that we can use. And depending on the photographer, they can even grab some little video clips of different things for you that we can use in retargeting ads and whatever, things like this. And it's just, it makes the world of difference to engage. Brett, earlier you talked about, market differentiators. During the onboarding process, we have this pretty basic form that says, what are your market differentiators? And I talk about these all the time from a laundromat perspective. And I always say, first thing a laundromat owner has to do is know what makes them unique, what makes you special, what makes you different than your competitor. I don't recommend you obsess over your competitor, but I do recommend that you're engaged and you understand what makes me different. Why am I different? Why am I special? Help us understand that. Because the worst marketing we can do, and it's better than none, but the worst marketing we can do is, I call it hand waving. I'm a laundromat. Here I am. That's it, right? Like, hi, I'm Queen City Laundry. We're at 1310 West Ohio Pike. Like,
Tell
that's
them
the
why
worst.
they want to go there.
Tell them why you're
you
special.
better?
They may not know you're there. So telling them that you're there is good. It's not bad, right? For them to know you exist, but telling them why you're there and who you are and what's special about you, and showing them pictures that illustrate the things that you're talking about in the copy. These are things that our team is really, really good at, but you have to engage us, right? From Cincinnati, from Canada, from London. We can't do those things. I mean, we can help. We can go on your website and try to figure out those things, but the more you can engage us in that way, the better results we're going to get for you. And I only say that from a place of genuine love, because I used to really suck at that, and I've learned a lot. I didn't know how important it was, and today I know a lot more, and I try to be a lot more engaging. And guess what happens? We get better results, right? And my ad spend goes further, and all of a sudden the marketing company that I'm using is so much smarter, right? And so there is things we can do. So don't think when you hire a we laundromat owners, don't think when you hire a digital marketing company that you are just, removed from all responsibility. Now, you can be. I mean, we're not going to ask you to make copy and things like that, but the more you engage us on a regular basis and just share feedback and things like that, then the better results we're going to be able to get for you. And then Courtney hit on it. I think it was Courtney. Your business, the better you run your business, all a marketing company or even postcards, all those can do is let people know you're there and hopefully get them to go to your store. But at the end, Brett talked about it with the lifetime value of the customer, the LTV. I mean, if you spend $20 to acquire a customer and they come in and spend $20 at 30% margins and never come back because you didn't do a good job of taking care of them, you're going to think marketing doesn't work. You're going to not spend money on marketing, and you're going to go, every time I spend $500 on marketing, I lose $500. Well, it's because you're at a 30% margin. You spent 20, you brought them in 20. But what if they came back every week for 5 years? And you never had to get that customer again, right? That's up to us as laundromat owners to run a business, build a team, provide market differentiators, focus, obsess on our business and our community and serving them. A marketing company is steroids. The better business you have, the better results your marketing company is going to get. And it goes the other direction too. So I'll go ahead and say it, Carla. Dave's on his soapbox. But these are the reason I say things is genuinely out of love, like I said a minute ago, because I didn't used to know these things. And now as a laundromat owner, I do. And as a guy that owns a marketing company, I understand them more now than ever before, because Brett and Courtney and our team has educated me. and I want to try to educate you. That's why we're here. So any last thoughts before we go today? I think we hit almost every question.
We had a question about email marketing. And I know, Brett, we recently launched something new with this. I can say we do some email marketing. We do it primarily. Most of the emails we collect are customers that have at least clicked on our pickup and delivery, because we get their email through that. But we use it a lot for retargeting, I guess, like sending out coupons, like where they've abandoned their cart or where they haven't placed an order with us in a while, or they've never tried our service, but they did get on the website. And then, we'll send emails to them saying, hey, give us a try. And here's, a little bit off if you'll give us a try again or whatever. But can you talk a little bit about the email marketing that we offer and how effective that is? Is it effective?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everything helps with customer retention, right? It's just another touch point for you to have. And those are active clients at the end of the day. So we want to make sure that we're reinviting them and reminding them about your service constantly. So that's typically how email marketing comes into play with us. We're working on connecting to certain POS systems like APIs so that we can automate some things as well. So like you mentioned, with the abandoned checkouts, or maybe they haven't ordered in a while, we can be sending them emails saying, hey, your laundry's adding up, or your laundry's piling up, like we miss you type of thing, send coupons along those lines too. So that should be streamlined here in the near future. At the moment, we just do a lot of just kind of like newsletter reach outs or promoting specials or anything along those lines.
As far as email marketing, I feel like it's a cheap way to reach back out to customers. The only thing is that you're reaching out to people that were already customers. Like generally speaking, we don't have emails for people that haven't tried us yet. I mean, maybe some abandoned carts, but
it's so much more cost effective to get someone to spend money with you again,
Yes.
rather than convincing them to spend money with you a first time.
Yep.
So, and there's so much, I mean, I cannot talk enough about how important it is to build an email list. That is an asset that you own. Anytime you've got, if you've got a following on YouTube, like, this podcast, or, that's great. But let's say that YouTube shut down tomorrow, or YouTube blocked your account tomorrow. You would lose that audience.
Yep.
And it's gone. If it's your email list, you own that list. That is your audience, and you have it no matter what. It's yours. You can also use it to then, retarget or build a lookalike audience on some other platforms, which is a whole other tangent. But it is such a valuable asset. And I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, I had a mentor tell me years ago, building on rented land is good. Building on owned land is better. And I thought that he was actually referring to email marketing, and that's what he was actually talking about. He was like, nothing wrong with building an audience or a group on Facebook, but tomorrow, and this has actually happened to people, they could just decide you can't be on Facebook anymore, or delete your page, and all of that work is gone. So it's not bad to do it, and if you can get results, do it, but understand that it's not the be all end all. Owning it, man, that's the holy grail.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't even think about the whole build a lookalike audience, because that is targeting new people that are a similar avatar, a similar customer group. But yeah, there is that where it's not just the people that have already been to you.
Yeah. Sorry, we're going to say something before we go, Brett.
Yeah, I was just going to say one thing just on that. I think it's obvious that you're going to be collecting emails or trying to when it comes to pickup and delivery and those types of services. But making sure if you have any sort of prepay card system that involves the self-service side of things too, get those emails as well, because those are customers at the end of the day, right? And you can target them. Maybe they're going to get $5 off a card if they haven't revisited in X amount of days or something along those lines too. So don't forget about those opportunities to collect emails. It's not just on the digital side. It can also be on those location-based service side, like is what we call it.
Well, and not just emails. I mean, I see a lot of movement now to the text marketing. I mean, you're a lot more limited as far as how many characters you can fit in and all that, but there's also the SMS marketing or whatever, the text marketing that you can do if you collect phone numbers as well.
Is there any way we can not do that politically? Is there any way to not do that? Anybody know? I'm getting a billion texts right now from all these people.
You need to include the option to opt out in each message, which because the messages are already very character limited, it's limited in what you can do. And also just generally, you don't want to text people too often. You want to kind of do it sparingly. So with email, you can do a lot more, which is why all of us can think about that one time we went to some website and they said, put in your email for 10% off your first order. And we did that. And now we get an email from them every other day. And we have for 2 years and we've never unsubscribed. we just leave it, you know. So
that's why I have an email specific for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is my coupon email. And when I am going to that store, then I look for a coupon in my coupon email.
Nice.
Well,
Don't do that.
Yes, I still use it. I just don't look at it.
And they can still use you for a lookalike or retargeting.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about pickup and delivery, though, and why you can't necessarily do that for that is because like you want the notifications about when is your order coming through, all the important information you need. So like,
great point.
For things like coupons that you might not be using your primary email, but for things important to you, like your clothes, that you're going to. So
we get their good email.
Those emails get looked at when it comes to pickup and delivery. And I'm not sure if we're wrapping up like exactly right now, but I do want to mention one thing. Just with LaundroBOOST and what we've been doing is we've been rolling out just kind of a care package to all of our new clients. One being like this Yeti coffee mug, which is pretty cool. I drink out of mine every single day. But the more important thing, honestly, is we've been handing out these cards. So basically, if you look at it, it just says review us on Google with a few 5 stars there and then a LaundroBOOST logo. We give these to all of our active clients. We'll send out like 3 or 4 of them, depending on how many locations you have, but a couple per location. We were handing these out at the Nashville event and basically anybody who would come up to the desk. So what we can do is we can scan your review link onto these cards. And then anytime you tap them on a phone, this one's not loaded with anything at the moment, but you tap it on the phone and it'll actually pull up the review link right on that person's phone so they can quick 5-star, write a review and submit it to Google. I've got like endless emails from people saying like, I picked up 20 reviews in like less than a month. I picked up like, it's crazy how well these are working for clients.
Awesome.
They're quite expensive, but for active clients, this is just a nice little bonus to immediately start boosting your Google reviews from never mind the services that we're providing. It's crazy.
Just your free gift for joining us.
Just to get the Yeti.
And they're already programmed for your location.
Right. They're located.
My family's fighting over these. I was only allowed to bring 4 home from Cincinnati. And I got 6 people who are like, they're all like splitting them up at the moment.
You'll have to get them at the next time you're here. We have all the Yetis. We're the shippers.
I'll get one someday.
Yes, it's coming with your new computer.
So one thing I will say on those tap cards real quick, and guys, thanks for hanging in here. Hopefully you got a lot of value out of this today. Come visit us at laundroboostmarketing.com. By the way, we do have free onboarding right now. How much longer is that lasting?
Through the end of March.
Yeah. And you don't have to necessarily sign, you know,
just
today.
Schedule a call.
Yeah.
Schedule a call
before April 1st.
You'll get that free onboarding. One thing is I was going to say
about that too, you get a custom strategy. So
true. For free. That's free strategy.
Yeah, we didn't even look at that, but we can lots we can cover on the next one.
Yeah, and we will definitely do this again in case you're wondering. So next time you see it, make sure you tell everybody. One of the things I want to say about the tap cards before we go is we use those in our stores. And just a little tip is, as Brett talked about, you know, what happens a lot of times in any nice laundromat is customers are constantly coming up to either you, the owner, or your attendants or your managers or whoever's working there. And if you're running a nice modernized store, they're always telling you, man, this is the nicest laundromat I've ever seen. It's the cleanest laundromat I've ever seen. That is the perfect opportunity. If your attendant just always keeps that card on them, which is what we do on shift, they say, wow, we really appreciate that. Would you be willing to give us a review? And some people say, yeah, I certainly will. And you say, great, just take out your phone, tap this card, and it'll pull it right up for you and make it really easy. Now, some people, especially older people, don't know how to do reviews. And so you can hold their hand. But we always teach them, not to be too pushy, but we always teach them just like, here, pull your phone out, tap. It'll take you right there. Just hit 5 stars and type in how clean it is. And you wouldn't believe, I mean, go look at our reviews for Queen City Laundry in the last few months since we've been using those tap cards. You might come up with other creative ideas of ways to use them, but man, it really makes it easy.
Don't give them time to forget, to walk away. No extra steps. Like, oh, it's right here.
You just pull it out, say, grab your phone, tap right here. I'll make it as easy as possible for you.
It's tough for them to say no when you're standing right in front of them too.
It is. Yep. Well, another thing we do is we don't proactively look for reviews, but well, I guess that's proactive, but we also pay our attendants, and I promise we'll let you go, guys. Thanks for hanging in here with us today. We also pay our attendants $10 if we get a review with their name in it. And so you'd be surprised how incentivized they are by those things. Debbie's the greatest thing ever. Thank you so much for keeping the store clean. And they will proactively, you know, I always say, if you're getting too many of them, I'm going to be a little suspicious because we don't want to hassle our customers.
And why do they all have the same last name as you? Huh?
Right. Yeah. How many sisters do you have anyway? You do have to be careful with
it. As long
it.
as you ask for an honest review, like you don't ever say like give us a 5-star review. It's like if you give us an honest review, and like most of the time their honest review is a 5-star review, so that's great.
Yeah, and especially if they're already paying you a compliment, the odds of you getting a negative review aren't very good. So we actually have a ton more we could have gotten to today, but man, what a bunch of great questions. Brett and Courtney, Carla, thank you for being here today. I know there's nowhere Carla would have rather been on her birthday than talking laundromats. So I won't make everyone sing, or I won't ask everyone to sing happy birthday to her. But she is not on social media very much. But if you have her number or her email, text her, let her know that she is loved, because she loves our industry. So guys, check us out at laundroboost.com. Remember, as Courtney said, all you got to do is schedule a discovery call before the end of March. You don't have to do the call. You don't have to commit to anything. And if you decide to use LaundroBoost, you'll get free onboarding. And like Brett said,
free strategy report.
And a free strategy report.
I'll present one more time, just show exactly where that is. To schedule a call.
Yeah, go right ahead. Yep. Yeah, let's show everybody. If you're not looking at your phones or you're driving, pull over. We're gonna show you real quick.
Pull over in a safe place.
Or just watch this later. It is recorded.
All right. It's at laundroboostmarketing.com, and then let's boost now.
There you go.
It'll take
Booking with good old Eric.
Yeah, good old Eric. We love him.
Yeah.
So then feel free to book in here on the Calendly.
So that's all you got to do to get free onboarding, even if you schedule for 2 weeks from now. So if you're watching this in the future, sometimes we do run other promotions. Check back with us then. But this is mostly for the people that are live streaming with us today. So guys, thanks for being here with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. If you're watching this in the future, reach out to us. Guys, we're going to be at the Nashville Wash Dry Fold Workshop that the CLA is putting on. We're going to have a booth there. Come and meet Brett and Courtney and me and Carla. Come and meet us next year at the Clean Show. If you're watching this in the future, we're going to have an awesome booth that's being designed right now. That's in August. Is that right?
It's in
August of 2025 in Orlando. So if you're watching this in the future, watching the recordings, Carla is obsessed with how hot it's going to be there. But I'm pretty sure they'll have air conditioning inside. We just might melt when we go outside. But anyway.
So then we won't.
I love the
heat. We won't go outside.
Me and Carla won't.
Unless I'm in a pool.
Yeah. So awesome. Thank you for joining us today. If you're watching this recording, we are here. We want to help you. Visit laundromatmillionaire.com. We have a bunch of free resources on there that'll help you. Visit laundroboost.com. If we can help you in any way, just reach out. All 4 of us are here for you. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Happy birthday, Carla.
Oh, thank you. And happy belated to you and to Brett. Very belated.